This video we are assembling the Sympathy pop-up. So let's just start with our base and glue our panels on. So I've just folded all these in mountain folds, and then flip it over and take your top and fold it down level to the top of the base of the card. And then there's another score mark here, and you fold that up. And then, so what you're doing is creating a 1/4 inch gap here that we're going to glue down, okay? So you're going to fold down, fold up, fold down. Yours will not have this slit in it. I cut the wrong base, but I'm gonna just use this one because I have it cut and I don't want to waste the paper. Okay, so I have this all folded, and then I'm going to flip it over, and before I glue these 2/4 inch tabs down, I'm going to put my panels on. I want to put those on while my card is laying flat. There is a border all the way around, so you just want to kind of eyeball that. And then with each consecutive piece, my clock is chiming, you just want to line that up level, okay? So let's just get these pieces on. You don't need a whole lot of glue. In fact, you don't want too much because you don't want to cause too much curling of the paper. So I use a Darcy fine tip applicator. I think it's called an ultra fine tip applicator. So compared to my glue bottle, I'll show you here, I've got a 4 ounce. So that's the size difference. I guess that might be an ounce, might be less. So that is a huge size difference and a big size difference in the tips. So this is really good at applying a thin layer of glue. That's why I like using it. And it still puts enough glue on that you have a little bit of time for wiggle room if you need it. Okay, so we've got the base, the panels on. Now this little 1/4 inch space, I'm going to glue this down. So put your glue in there. And this just helps our card stay open by having this 1/4 inch space that's glued down to the inside of the card. So you can pick it up when it's open and it doesn't just squeeze shut on you. That's the purpose of this. And I like to do the base first because then I can set this aside while I work on the inserts, and that way it has ample time to dry securely. Okay, so I'm just going to set this here and now pull in our card. So it does have a little sign that says "With Sympathy." So we can go ahead and put this together. It is small, the wording, but it's not too small. My machine didn't have any trouble cutting it. my blade is relatively new. I probably put it in 3 weeks ago. So it's not a brand new blade, but it is fairly new. Okay, and so that's done. And now here we've got our plants. So we have, it's a peace lily. I cut it in yellow and added a little bit of green. This bottom part of this is not going to show. I accidentally had brown on my ink pad. But I'm going to start by assembling these flowers. And just right where the curve of your stymie starts is where you want to glue the flower on. And then just like so. And I'm going to go ahead and prep the back. I want to put some foam tape on my flowers because I do want to add a little bit of dimension to this. I don't want it to be so flat. And I'm also going to add dimension to the leaves. So my foam squares I get at Dollar Tree, and these particular ones, this is a brand new roll, I just opened it. So this is the size of the roll you get. It's $1. This roll is found in the hardware section. Okay. So now we've got all these leaves. And you want to just take a moment, fit them where they go. So I'm going, except for the center one, I'm going to work front to back, and I am just going to add pieces of foam tape just at the top of them. So I'm going to work one side and then the other. And these kind of come together in a point, but this is all going to be covered by your vase. So you don't have to be too concerned about how this bottom looks as it comes together. I do want this one down first. Let me take a look at it with this one down first. Okay. So I'm going to put glue on the bottom half of the leaf and just have it standing up at the top half. So this is 2 pieces. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I've already glued them together. I had them drying under my mat so that it would be nice and straight, so it wouldn't curl. Because this is the center of the card, you want to make sure that this piece is good and sturdy. It's also the piece that operates the opening and closing of the card, which is another reason why we double that particular piece up. Okay. So now I'm just going to work my way around, getting my leaves in place. And it doesn't have to be lined up exactly, because it could just, that'll just give it the appearance of more leaves. But whichever way you like it, you can do it. See, these are just slightly off. I didn't intend to do that, but you know, it just happened. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. My foam tape here on the ends, and then glue the bottom, starting with this back one and working my way forward. When you're adding dimension to a pop-up card, now this is where it's going to slide into the base, so this is the line. You want to try to keep, so the card base is 2 inches tall, so you want to keep everything in this 2-inch space. You don't want to add foam tape and stuff in here, because that will affect the way the card closes, and you'll find that your card will not close very well. So I only add dimension above 2 inches. Okay, so now I've got that, and then just so I can see that I'm placing my flowers properly, put those in for a second, and then that's where I'm going to glue my flowers. And I don't think I'm going to take my foam tape off, because it gives it a little bit of movement, but the foam tape prevents it from laying down completely flat. And I like that, so I'm going to leave it like that. I could have done that with some of my leaves. And I'm glad I didn't put the foam tape down, because this is a little bit too low. Okay. Now I'm struggling a little, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick this on there. There is our peace lily. I did not know this paper was going to be so thin that you could even see the glue marks on it. So I'll probably be covering that with another piece of paper. So to put this together, and again, your base is going to be correct. This one, I cut the wrong base out, but so the With Sympathy has a tab that folds. Your piece without the tab goes right here in the center where it folds. Okay, and then your other one slides in here in the front. Okay, and its size is not correct because, again, it's the wrong one. So then flip your card over and go ahead and take this piece out. What you're going to do is you want to pull this all the way down to your base. And you're going to apply glue to this tab. I like to glue mine going back. Make sure this bottom piece is down flat. And we're just going to glue this right in place, just like this, okay? Now this piece, this slides into your center, and this piece is going to be the piece that makes the card open and close, okay? So we're going to take this top tab and we're going to glue it only to this center piece. Okay, so you're just going to apply glue right there. And if I push this up, you'll see that it's got this top piece of the card glued to it, okay? That's how it lifts. Then we're going to turn this bottom tab up and we're going to glue it to just the center piece. Just like that, okay? Hold it, make sure you get a good then you're going to, the top one, your tab's going to be down, and your bottom one, your tab's going to be up, and you're going to fold this over, and you're going to glue these two pieces to each other, just like this. But only these tabs, okay? So be careful not to get glue on the rest of your card. And I would suggest just keeping away from the edges so that you don't accidentally glue your card shut. And then you're going to fold this over on itself and glue these tabs together. And depending on the bulk that you have in this card, will determine how long it will take to actually make this stick. And then you can see here inside, it's kind of like a box card, but instead of your tabs gluing side to side, your tab glues at the bottom. Okay? And then we're going to fold this tab down and close up the card, making sure not to glue any pieces of the center in here. They're not big enough to reach, but sometimes these cards are, and you have to really watch that. And then you just push this up and you've got your card with Sympathy. It's very simple. I think it's very elegant. Thank you for joining me.